What does autumn bring to us? The fall season is symbolic of change, from the leaves evolving to beautiful warm hues to chunky knit sweaters making their way into our daily attire. Fall brings change, but with a sense of comfort and ease. It takes us from 100-degree days to -10-degree days. Warmth and shelter become all the more important by necessity and for leisure in the fall. Less long walks on the beach, more cozy times indoors with a candle. When I read that sentence, less long walks on the beach, more cozy times indoor with a candle lit. They also advertised autumn candles. You can get one for yourself for only $34.95. I did not buy one, but I did light the fireplace in my house and enjoyed its warmth. Another part of autumn is balance. Change can be exciting or jarring. Both are pretty extreme emotions. Balance any feelings of overwhelm, good or bad, by practicing acceptance that this, for whatever reason, is part of life, and this, for whatever reason, is part of my life, and accepting that. Let go of the things you can't control and be gentle with yourself during a season of change. The last part of autumn is consciousness. Autumn can make us hyper-aware of the cycle of life. Our children go on to the next grade every fall, getting older as the world turns. The leaves will fall and new ones will return in a few months. But now is the time just to admire nature, to enjoy the miracle of the leaves change color. Isn't that amazing? One time a few years ago, I flew up to Boston in October. I got a window seat and was stunned at the beauty of the trees. The consciousness may make us all the more inclined to make the most of our time here on the planet. So let's welcome slow speeds, practice gratitude, and light a sensory candle. Choose to live in the present. Choose to live your life. Adopt the ABCs of the fall season, a mindset of abundance, balance, and consciousness, to reap the benefits of autumn, full of comfort and ease. Fall signals a welcome return to routine after a casual summer. It's a chance to enjoy changes in the weather, seasonal day trips, and autumnal treats. It's also the start of slowly easing into the holidays. But what does the fall represent? In fall, the growing cycle gives us ripeness and maturity. The harvest is associated with abundance, prosperity, and wealth. Humans, too, experience an autumn. If spring represents birth and childhood, and summer symbolizes youth, autumn represents adulthood and maturity, where all the good stuff is. An abundance of joy, happiness, or time with self can be yours by simply refocusing your thoughts and priorities, first on abundance in your life and next on balance. Balance any feelings of overwhelm, good or bad, by practicing acceptance. Let go of the things you can't control and be gentle with yourself during a season full of change. If anyone knows the Serenity Prayer, feel free to say it with me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Fall increases our consciousness, makes us hyper-aware of the cycle of life. Leaves will fall and new ones will return in a few months, but now is the time to just admire nature. This consciousness may make us all the more inclined to make the most out of our time. So welcome slow speeds, practice gratitude, and light a sensory candle. Choose to live in the present. Choose to live your life. Adopt the ABCs of our fall season, mindset of abundance, balance, and consciousness, to reap the benefits of autumn, full of comfort and ease. And remember, an abundance of joy, happiness, or time with self can be yours by simply focusing your thoughts and priorities on something different. And remember, balance can be exciting or jarring. Balance may feel overwhelming, good or bad. By practicing acceptance, you will come to balance. And finally, consciousness. Autumn can make us hyper-aware of the cycle of life just by watching the leaves change colors. Choose to live your life fully. I remember when I was growing up, like it says on the picture on the front of your order of service, a little boy in the leaves, and that it was my brother and mine job to rake the leaves. And then, as I said, we would yell 1, 2, 3, jump, and we'd jump and the leaves would go all over again. Then we'd have to do it all over again. But it's a great memory with my brother. There are 2 different dates when autumn could be said to begin. Autumn, as defined by the Earth's orbit around the sun, begins on the equinox, which falls on the 22nd or 23rd of September. However, to record climate data, it's important to set dates that can be compared. Autumn always, therefore, begins on September 1st. Trees prepare for winter. One of the most stunning signs of autumn is the turning of the leaves. The shorter days are a sign to trees to begin to prepare for winter. During winter, there's not enough light for photosynthesis. So, as the days shorten throughout autumn, the trees begin to close down their food production systems and reduce the amount of chlorophyll in their leaves. Chlorophyll is the chemical which makes tree leaves green, and as it declines, other chemicals become more prominent in the leaves. They are responsible for the vibrant colors, amber, red, and yellow, of autumn. The chemicals responsible are types of flavonoids, carotenoids, and anthocyanins. Did you know that some of these chemicals are what make carrots orange, and egg yolks their color? And the next is a fact that I did not know. People in autumn, born in autumn, live longer. A study in the Journal of Aging Research found that babies born during the autumn months are more likely to live to 100 than those born in the rest of the year. So how many of you were born in the autumn months? All right, 100, 100, 100. All right, good. I was not. I'm going to do my best to exercise and eat well. But the study showed that 30% of U.S. centenarians born during 1880 to 1895 were born in the autumn months. They do intend to have more research around that. Number 5, the days get shorter. The word equinox comes from the Latin equi, meaning equal, and nox, meaning night, accounting for the equinox marking the time when day and night are of equal length. We often notice the nights begin to draw in from this point, as after the autumn equinox, the nights are longer than the days, until this is reversed in the spring equinox, which is usually in June. And here is something to mark in your calendar. This is a date for your diary. September 24th, 2303. Generally speaking, the autumn equinox always falls on either the 22nd or 23rd of September, but not quite always, because the Gregorian calendar is not quite in perfect symmetry with the Earth's orbit. The autumn equinox will occasionally, very occasionally, fall on September 24th. This last happened in 1931 and will happen again in 2303. So mark it down for 300 years from now. I fell in love with autumn as I did my research. I have a cousin whose name is Autumn, but I've never met another person named Autumn. Do you all have friends named Autumn? No? Okay, me neither. But I've loved that name ever since I was a little girl. And then one day, it came into my life in a different way. I would like to end with this story. My husband was up in Beaver Creek, Colorado, playing trumpet for the summer, and I flew up to visit. When he was driving me back to Denver to catch a plane, his little Austin Healey broke down. It overheated on the steep mountains. So we stuck out our thumbs, hoping someone would come along and pick us up and take us to the airport. And someone did. Autumn. The person's name was Autumn. I couldn't believe it. Then my husband, Jeff, was suddenly aware that he left his camera, the one given to him by his deceased father, in the car. So he ran back to it, and we circled around to pick him up. Then they very generously drove us all the way to the airport. In chatting, we told them where we were going, where we lived, and what time was my flight. We slept on the floor at the airport that night, and Jeff woke up with a start. He realized he had left his camera in Autumn's car. Oh, what to do? We had no information on them, and they had none on us. This was before cell phones. Anyway, as we walked heavily to the gate, I picked up a courtesy phone, and I asked them to page Autumn and for her to go to our gate. Jeff had little faith. He was truly distressed, but I always knew we would get it back. And sure enough, we did. We got to our gate, and along comes Autumn, walking with my husband's camera in her hand. Truly a miracle, just like the season of autumn is. The leaves turn red and yellow and burnt orange and fall from the trees. And then, several months later, they come back, fully alive. That's what happened to my husband. He came back to life, so relieved to have his treasured camera in his hand again. Every once in a while, in my prayers, I think to say, "Thank you, Autumn. Thank you." May you enjoy this season of autumn. Blessed be, and amen. Thank you.